Hi guys, this episode I'm talking about the method of sale, how important it is, whether it's an auction or a private sale. Here at UFirst, we're very strong. I'm a big fan of auctions, but not every property that we go to auction or is for sale do we recommend to go to auction. But one of the benefits, and I'll run through some key benefits when you're listing your home for an auction. Basically, you can create a frenzy with the marketing, how you go about it. Two, there is a timeline. So it's basically like a set strategy where we will explain to our owners the first weekend is the most critical, whether it be an auction or a private sale, but we'll be able to gauge how quickly and how receptive the market is, and whether the market is receptive to the price or it's not. Right now, a lot of people are unsure what the market's doing. What we're finding is as soon as you get between 6 to 12 groups through a property on the first inspection, you should at least get 2 to 3 people talking offers. But what we find is with an auction, it's 3-4 weeks. So from when we launch the property to when we sell the property, it's a fairly short campaign. So the other great thing is it's an unconditional sale. So if someone does want to buy a property before the auction, which does occur, it has to be unconditional. The purchasers have to have pre-approved finance, and also if they want to do their building and pest inspections, they must conduct that prior to them making an offer. So the great thing for that, for the people out there, to me, I say to people, an auction is like a private sale, but it's got a timeline on it. We can sell it beforehand. Last year, we actually did well over 50 auction campaigns for the office, and we sold about 20%. So out of the 50, there was only 10 that sold. This year's been a different story. What we're finding, it has become a bit of a buyer's market in terms of the clearance rate. There's a few reasons why, but I'll go into that next week. But one of the great things that I'd like to point out, we've actually sold 18 properties either before auction or on the day of the auction. So to put it in a perspective, we've actually sold 10 under the hammer, and we've sold 8 before the auction. The reason why we sell it before the auction is if we have an emotional buyer and they're well above the market or where the next buyer is, it's easy for the owners to understand what to do there. So whether they should lean on us to accept the offer pre-auction, we'll definitely negotiate as hard as we can to get more for them. But should we go to auction, would they get that same price? And sometimes we'll examine the market and the conditions and what the marketing is doing, how many numbers, how many hits on the internet, and we go through it diligently so the owners are they're at ease, they're fully aware of the whole campaign, and they know what's going on. We've actually, with a lot of auctions, we always tell people, don't count us on what the wins that we have at an auction, count us on the losses that we have. And right now at UFirst, we don't have any losses. We're 100% clearance rate. We've had 4 properties this year pass in at auction, but all 4 sell after the auction. The longest taking 8 days, so that's just 1 week after the campaign. And with that, we've always got above the market conditions. So sometimes leading into a campaign, an owner will say, we want you to go to auction, but they may have an unrealistic reserve, and that could be based on whether it's another agent or they have a feeling that that's where it is. And say come auction day, we haven't been able to achieve that price, well then strategically we'll pass the property in at the level where the market is and then negotiate afterwards. So we've had some fantastic results for some clients where they had nothing coming through. We didn't hit the buyer leading into the auction, so we didn't get that right or emotional buyer in that first week, but it's taken us 4 to 5 weeks to get that. So some agents right now are a little bit concerned because days on market is stretching out. Our days on market here at UFirst is 14 days, which is phenomenal. We're seeing more and more properties staying on the market, and what that generally means is the owners have been given a false sense of security in saying they'll get a certain price, and unfortunately the statistics don't suggest that that's going to be occurring, and as a result the owners are like an elevator in private sales. They're just coming down and down and down, whereas with an auction, our job as an auctioneer is to drive the price up. You never see an auction where it starts at the top and starts working its way down. That's what happens with a private sale. With an auction, we're working the crowd upwards and onwards, making sure that they pay above the market value, and that's where we get into that emotional value, where that's what a great agent, a great deal maker will get the best result for you. So if you've got any questions, look, I'm going to be coming to you weekly on all subjects regarding real estate. And we're really excited with what's occurring in the marketplace. Great big opportunities out there for many people, and I still believe that we're still so undervalued. The area itself is it's not a buyer's market. It is a buyer's market if you're pricing it way too high. But when you see a flood of people coming through your home, that's a great sign to know that the market's still strong. I've been through 3 cycles where the market has dipped considerably. Being in the industry for 17 years, that you do see that. But only the strong will survive. So, you know, whether you're down here or whether you're in the eastern suburbs or northern suburbs, there's still some very, very good operators still being able to achieve great results at auction. And, you know, that tells me that, you know, the clearance rate, even though they're saying in the papers it's under 60% and it is a buyer's market, what the statistics you don't see is how many properties of those that went to auction that Saturday, how many sold after. So it's probably fair to say it would be about a 70% clearance rate above the board across metropolitan Melbourne. We're tracking at 100%, very proud of that. And what we do like to do is work with people that are realistic. So we will walk away from business if the owners aren't too much or are pricing way too much. We will try and strive to get the best out there, but if we think that it's unrealistic, we'd rather let the owners make that decision and go with someone else, because from our point of view, the last thing we want is to be holding stock for 2, 3, 4 months on end and having those repeated phone call conversations that, hey, you got to move your price down and get in line with the market, and the market's bad, because right now that isn't the case. So get out there. If you've got any questions, feel free to log on to my email address, Facebook me, or get me on Instagram. We'll see you very soon. Thanks.